What's up, investors? It's the Russian Dude, and welcome to the monthly charitable livestream / weekly and monthly summary of what happened in Russian-Ukrainian war. And today we're going to be, as always, summarizing the events of the month. We'll be answering your question, I'll be answering your question, and then in the end we'll be donating money to Ukraine, and then answering more questions, I'm assuming, and that's how it goes. What's up, everyone? Nice to see you, nice to... Okay. Do I drink a lot of coffee? Well, I don't, but... Okay, so long story. It's already so confusing to me, but I'll do my best not to be confused. I'll do my best to be focused today, even though I always say the same stuff, and then in the end I always fail. And then in the end it's always, everything is so bad and boring and cringe. But today let's try to be better. Welcome everyone, I hope you're having a nice weekend. If you're Americans, I hope you had a very wonderful Thanksgiving and happy past Thanksgiving. And so, once again, welcome, it's the Russian Dude. I did the snap, it kinda worked. Adidas, as always, I only have two clothes. Yellow jacket for recording videos, blue Adidas for doing live stream. I don't need more than that. And that's how it goes. Okay, so yes, gobble, Kevin. What's up, Kevin? Thanks so much for moderating. What's up, Steven? Thanks so much for moderating as well. And let's go. Okay, so I guess we begin, maybe if you want to do some summary, summary of the month. Let's see if I can connect my iPad and do your... so right now you might see live. Obviously we are doing live stream. So right now you might see how it looks like whenever I'm recording videos. Now you might see everything live. So you can obviously tell the difference between me talking in real life, how I'm talking right now, and me recording videos, because it's like, I am like the Russian Dude, and me, it's like two different people at this point, saying like different intonations, different phrases. But it is what it is. Okay, let's begin with some, how it's called, with some summaries. But first of all, let me say some WhatsApps and let me say some hellos to every single one of you. So let's do it. Say hello in the chat and I'll reply to you as much as I can, and then we start summarizing the month. Okay, I see hola from Cheryl Watley. What's up, Cheryl Watley? Okay, hello from Anna. What's up, Anna? Hello, Kevin. Hello, Metropol. Hello, Lee. Hello, everyone. Hello, Cloudy Bogdan. Bogdan is so cool name. Hello, Hachwot. Hello, Von Dalen. Hello, Michael Ransen. Hello, John King. Hello, Haywood Jablomi. Hello, Simon Shorthouse. Hello, Juicy Bear. Hello, Ali. Hello, Velvet. Hello, Stephen Hayes. Hello, now it's getting too fast. Hello, Stuart Savage. Hello, Mark Garcia. Hello, Ryan Downer. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Timon. Hello, Possum. Hello, Peter Olsen. Hello, Scott Nesbitt. Hello, hello everyone. So, what's up, everyone? Hello, and now let's do some quick summaries. I hope I kinda did as much as I could, but it is what it is. So now let's do some, okay, how do I put my iPad on the screen? It does not work. Oh yeah, it does work. Okay, so putting some iPad, we can see some map really quick, do some quick summary, do some Q&A sessions, and then it's gonna be all good and all Gucci. Okay, here is the map. Here is your live session of me recording the Russian Dude episode. What's up, investors? It's the Russian Dude. And today, let's begin by looking at the most recent updates from the East. So in the East, this month, pretty much majority of fights for Ukraine was happening along Svatove-Krymin road, but it was relatively slow this month, so not too much advancement from neither of the sides. At the same time, we have Bakhmut. Bakhmut is the legendary city. Ukrainians are standing there. They're not giving up any of the territory next to this city. So it is just my salutations to Ukrainian defenders around Bakhmut. It is incredible what they're capable of doing, because Bakhmut, and now you see how I'm gonna be drawing in my iPad, because Bakhmut, which you can see right here is under mostly control of Ukrainians, and so obviously Russians, they constantly push around the city, they try push, and they always send reinforcements to the city, and especially these are Wagner soldiers, pretty much the prisoners, Russian prisoners. But Ukrainians, they stand, they do not let them advance, because Ukrainian defenders in Bakhmut are pretty much one of the most resilient soldiers at this very moment. So this is what's happening around Bakhmut. Now let's see what else is happening. A lot of activity happening next to Marinka, as you can see right here, but also the city is not yet fully invaded, fully captured by Russia. It is still contested by Ukrainians at the same time. And at the same time, some activity was happening around Vuhledar. And as you can see, Ukrainians also did not let Russians advance next to the city as well. What else we have? Then we have another major thing that was happening in this month. It is that Ukrainians were not advancing, but doing some partisan activities, some diversions in Tokmak. And this was allegedly let's call it the third front line, because those Russians who were supposedly retreating from Kherson, and they do. Some of them retreat to Crimea, as you know, but some of them retreat to the south, to the east, to reinforce their positions once again in cities like Donetsk, Bakhmut, Avdiivka, Marinka. And the purpose of these Ukrainians who are right next to Tokmak is obviously to intercept those Russians and not to let them reinforce themselves in the east. So those Russians who will be withdrawing from Kherson, half of them, let's say so approximately half of them will go to the east, some of them will get intercepted, and the rest will go to Crimea, where obviously there is no panic, there is never panic in Crimea, but you and me, we know that there is obviously panic in Crimea. And obviously the most major event of the month is that pretty much the entire northern part of Kherson, to the east, on the right side, to the east of the Dnipro river, as you can see right here from this map in green, is now completely liberated. So Russians retreated from this area, and that's pretty much it. Ukrainians in less than a week retook this whole area of Kherson. I was making many videos in the past. Russians retreat from Kherson. Kherson liberation soon. Kherson liberation is coming. Because it was always basically they were just a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little bit forward, a little bit back, but eventually it was pretty obvious that Russians were supposed to be eventually give up this part of Kherson to the north of Dnipro river. And now the videos that I am making right now is that eventually Russians will be withdrawing from this part of Mykolaiv region, which is, by the way, the last part of Mykolaiv region under the control of Russians, and then they will be withdrawing pretty much from the rest of Kherson. And this is pretty much what's going to be happening, because right now Russians building already, it was first line of defense, then it was second line of defense, and then they did the third line of defense, which was approximately 15 to 20 kilometers away from Dnipro river. And this is what means is that they are ready to retreat as far as 15 to 20 kilometers away from Dnipro river. At the same time, those Russians retreat to Crimea, and some of them go to the east, which basically means sooner or later, maybe in December, let's see if we're super lucky, if we're super fortunate, if Russians want to retreat faster than they want, we might see. It is only just my assumption, obviously, I'm not sitting in the general staff of Ukrainian forces. All this I'm saying is are just the assumptions. But it is my assumption that in the nearest future, best case scenario in December, we might see the rest of Kherson region, as well as a little bit of this part of Mykolaiv region, to be fully liberated. And then Crimean Peninsula will be greatly separated from the rest of occupied Ukraine, which will allow Ukrainians to deoccupy it as well. Okay, so this was a quick summary. I hope you enjoyed this impromptu speech, impromptu monologue, improvisation of me doing this thing. And now let's see if you have any questions. Now I am ready for your questions. Feel free to and by the way, looks like there are some new features in YouTube live streaming. So I don't know if you can see it, because from my perspective I have a little bit different interface. But supposedly somewhere on top of the chat there is supposed to be this box which says ask me anything. And if you click on this box, this is when you can ask me a question. And let's see if there's any questions right now, because theoretically what I think is supposed to happen is that I will be able to put these questions on the screen, and then I will be able to answer them, and then people will know which question I'm answering, and you will be able to obviously hear my answer at the same time. So let's see. I do have one question. So let's see. Let's practice. I'm doing this for the very first time. So forgive me if it is some ridiculous, some like absolute uncertainty if it's gonna be chaotic. But let's see. Let's practice together. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I select a question. Let me know if something appeared on your screen, because for me nothing much changed, or maybe it appeared in your chat. Let me see. Let me know if you see something. I think on top of the chat there is supposed to be a question for you right now. I think hopefully right now you can see the question I'm trying to answer. So the question I'm trying to answer is from Matthew, and he's asking, why is there a media blackout on the Zaporizhzhia power plant? Is it the much relevant critical infrastructure to control at the moment? So the reason it is not complete total blackout at Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, but it's like, yeah, it's not that many news happening right now. As for now, whatever I heard personally, what was the last things were happening in Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, what I personally heard, is that International Atomic Energy Agency, they said that, okay, we don't see any evidence about this dirty bomb, that Russians were allegedly saying that Ukrainians are doing this dirty bomb. International Atomic Energy Agency was saying that we did not find any of this evidence. At the same time, they also said that, like, come on, like, Russians, you have to return the energy, the nuclear power plant, you have to return it to Ukrainians. It's not yours. It's on occupied territory. You have no right to capture this power plant, so you have to give it back. Before this, or like, I mean, approximately the next day or a couple of days after this statement, Russians recorded a video from Chechens, and Ramzan Kadyrov posted on his social media, is that Ukrainians, allegedly Ukrainians, were shelling this nuclear power plant, which to be honest doesn't make much sense. This nuclear power plant is located on the territory of Ukraine. First of all, this is the nuclear power plant of Ukraine. It used to supply at least the power to Ukrainians, and as soon as Zaporizhzhia will be liberated, they will continue to use this nuclear power plant to supply power to their own fellow citizens. So why would Ukrainians target this infrastructure energy object? Doesn't make sense. As for now, there is not much happening, there is not much activity, not much combat activity around this nuclear power plant. So for now, it's nothing much, to be honest, to say. I think, as far as I know from the information from a couple of days ago, there was still presence of Russians. They still were not leaving the territory of Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, but there was not much shelling against this power plant, obviously. Okay, so hopefully this answers your question, Matthew. Let's see if there are any more questions available. Let's see if we kinda got it right. Okay, are these the questions? Okay, yeah, wow. Okay, looks like there are questions, a lot of questions, and looks like now it is working. Let me see some questions really quick, and then I can select the question, put it on the screen for every single one of you. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see the question from Rob Flanders Dude. Okay, let's see. Hopefully it is now once again on the screen for every single one of you. Let's now answer the question from Rob Flanders Dude. How can this war end? Is there a possibility to accept Crimea as some kind of independent state? To be honest, I don't think Crimea will be like independent state, because no, it just won't. It's simple as that. Like, I cannot imagine Crimea being independent state. Russia obviously wants to keep it as much as possible. For Putin, this is his legacy to Russia. Putin did so much already to capture Crimea, to keep Crimea, and then it kind of slowed down. Like, you know, the initial capture, the initial invasion to Crimea was in 2014. So since then, it was at first kind of like a lot of hustling around Crimea, like, give it back, it's our land. It never calmed down, but eventually, a couple of days later, it was still once again under the control, quote, of Russians, but still it was the territory of Ukraine. And so right now, Crimea, because Ukrainians, they see that pretty much they can return any single territory they want. And so right now they are pushing obviously Russians away from Kherson, and this is their next stage. But if you remember a couple of my videos ago, I was making the assumption that first Russians will be pushed away from Kherson and Mykolaiv. Then Ukrainians will start going to the east, and the next major city on their way will be Melitopol. Melitopol, it's pretty significant city, but to be honest, it's not as significant for Russians as Kherson, because Kherson was giving the access to Russians to the Black Sea, and they were able to continue expand their invasion all the way to Mykolaiv and to Odessa, but they were not able to move past the original borders, original invasion borders, so it never happened. But that's what I'm saying. Melitopol, I don't think it is as important as Kherson for Russians. And if Russians were able to give up Kherson, most likely they will be able to give up Melitopol as well, as soon as Ukrainians start pushing Russians hard. After this, Ukrainians will continue their journey to the east, and the next stop on their way will be Mariupol. At least not stop, but like major city on their way will be Mariupol. Mariupol will be just pretty much the symbolic victory for Ukraine, because you know Azovstal, Azov soldiers from Azov battalion, so for them it will be symbolic victory. And to be honest, I also don't see much Putin's grip on this city, so most likely as soon as Ukrainians start pushing hard, and I think thanks so much, now I cannot see the donations. What is happening? Let me scroll. Okay, thanks so much, Alan. Thanks so much, Alan, for $20. and thank you so much for $10, Christoph. Thanks so much, $10 for Christoph, and thank you so much, Alan, for $20. Thanks so much. So back to the how this war will end. After Ukraine takes back Melitopol and Mariupol, pretty much the entire territories that Russia will still control will be Donbas region in the east and Crimea in the south. And this is when Putin will be facing extremely complicated decision, which one he loves more. Is it either Crimea or Donbas? So most likely he will prefer to keep Crimea, which basically means at this point, at the time which will be very close to the end of the war, Putin will most likely just be left with Crimea. I mean, he will still have Donbas, but he will be ready to give up Donbas in favor of keeping Crimea. And this is when maybe, just maybe, war will kind of slow down again, but it will never be officially over, because Ukraine said it for multiple times that they are not willing to stop until they return every single territory, including Crimea. So for this reason, I think it might take some time, but Ukraine will get Crimea back as well. So that's how I think the war will be over. Most likely it will be relatively fast, all the way until the return of Crimea. And then it will be just maybe political liberation. But we'll see, That's just my assumption, obviously. Okay, so yeah. Let's see. I see some questions. Let's see some more questions. And by the way, yes, if you want, feel free to use some super thanks. Feel free to become a channel member. Okay, now I see some. Natoya85. Thank you so much, Natoya85, for $10. So yeah. Feel free to use some links in the description if you want to participate in the donations. Feel free to participate in those using links in the description. You can either use the description link to become a channel member, and you can unlock some benefits. For example, if you see some people in the chat like Rob, Kevin, there is like this small badge next to their name. So this will be possible for you to be like distinguished in the chat. This will always make it easier for me to see your comments, and it's just general support for the channel. So if you want, just consider becoming a channel member. Another way of supporting, okay, now we do have channel member Christopher Warte, sorry for butchering your name, thank you for becoming a channel member. And then I see LB Studio. Thanks so much for $1, LB Studio. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Another way of contributing and assisting the channel, sponsoring the channel if you want. Yep, and then occasionally you get a specific member, a specific message like Kevin is typing. Another way to support the channel is becoming a Patreon, and this is the most common way of supporting the channel. Okay, now I see some more. Let's see what's this. Okay, it's just the Kevin message, and occasionally get a member specific message says Kevin B. Pretty much yes, that's how it goes. 2 months member, thanks so much. And then we see, what else we see? I see a question from Colin Walker. Are you really a Russian, and do you still live in Russia? I am really Russian, as you can probably hear by my accent. And no, at this very moment I do not live in Russia. And now $50 from Scott Radetsky. So thank you so much for $50, Scott. Thank you for incredible support. Truly appreciate it. I remember you every single time Scott is contributing to the donations during this live stream. So thank you so much, Scott. And then I see £3 from John Mason. Thank you so much, John Mason, for £3. Thanks so much for your donation, for your contribution, John. Thank you so much. Okay, so another incredible way of contributing to this channel is through subscribing to the Patreon. And let me see if I can share the screen, because in this case you will also be able to get something in return. So I know sometimes for some people it's very complicated to donate money. I used to be just like this myself. It used to be like, you know, you're waiting in line in the supermarket and then the cashier is asking, hey, do you want to donate $2 to like some charity? And so I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I guess. Like, you never know. But then once you start donating, it's like you can never stop. Like every single month during these charitable live streams, we give money to Ukraine. And for me, it's like, I feel absolutely no attachment to this money at all. I know how much this money contributes to the people of Ukraine. So for me, it's absolute. I don't feel the attachment to this money at all. Money is just means of achieving other goals, I would say. It's not something that you should be, money should not be the goal of your life, basically what I'm trying to say. But anyways, so what I was talking about Patreon. One of the most common ways to support the channel is through becoming a Patreon, because in addition to some small, like a small $4 per month, you will be accessing literally thousands of footage. You remember, you know, oh, and now we have another donation. Let's read it. Thank you so much, Dan Timothy, for £9. Thanks so much, Dan Timothy. Thanks so much for your contribution. So back to the Patreon, you know, every single time, and now we have another Jane Thompson. Thank you so much for £5, Jane. Thanks so much. And so every single time in the video I'm saying, and because it's true, because according to YouTube guidelines, I'm not able to show videos which include weapons, which include like close-up explosions. I definitely cannot include combat footage. I definitely cannot include like injuries or like, no, you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I cannot include actual war footage. So I have to be very, so this is, by the way, one of the reasons why you join this live stream, is for me to give you, I don't know, some explanations, so you get a little bit more insight about this work, about the channel that I'm doing. So it's not like I'm just begging you for money from my Patreon, blah, blah. No, I really cannot use a lot of footage. A lot of war-related footage is simply not allowed on Ukraine. I was using this footage carelessly in the past, and a lot of my videos get flagged. They either get like 18+ restrictions, or they get like advertisement suitability issues, which basically means I cannot monetize my video just because, for example, of one video and there was one guy showing the weapon like in the camera, something like this. So for this reason, I have to be very selective with the footage I select for my videos. That's why I don't show maybe that much, but I always upload every single footage that I receive during the day to my Patreon, and some of which is also more or less allowed, I upload to my Discord. And by the way, so yes, if you want, you can feel free, go ahead. All the links in the description. Discord is just like a chat. You just chat inside the community, talk with the friends. I think it's more than 5,000 of us in the Discord right now. It's like always something is happening, always people are talking. People are always sharing footage, their own footage, I share footage. So this is where you can see the footage in the first place. So thank you so much, David, for £5. Thanks so much, Brandon, for 10 euros. Thanks so much, Brandon McKay. So, okay, now Jane Thompson, thank you so much, another £5. Thank you. And then I see another, thank you so much, Autistic Wolf for $2. Says most Russian soldiers deserve closed casket funerals. Well, that's too radical. Well, these are also just regular people. Not a single person deserves to die because, like, you know, these people, they get sent to Ukraine. So let's see. And then David Stothard, £5. Thanks so much, David. Russians also, they get forced into this war. They get forced into Ukraine. Like their generals, officers, military people, they force them to go to Ukraine. So obviously, I wouldn't say that they want to be there. At least 90% of even Russian soldiers, they just forced being there. So like, even though it's maybe easy to judge, like, oh, those are Russians and everything, like, I'm not obviously justifying the invasion. I'm just saying that army service in Russia is mandatory. Like, there was this partial mobilization. Some of my friends got the summons to the military, and these are the friends that I had. Like, most of them are against the war. But because you got this military summons, you're now legally obliged to go to war. And so that's what happens, basically. You see a Russian soldier, you see him like as an invader, which in most cases he is, but this is how the world sees them. But in reality, this can be a person who was just going to his work, who has a family. He goes to his work to do some finance, I don't know, to do some marketing, to do some IT support. And then military people come to his work, say, is Ivan Ivanovich here? And you say, yes, this is me, I'm Ivan Ivanovich. And they come with us. You have been summoned to the military. And that's it, you cannot refuse. It's either you go with them to the military. And Jane Thompson, £5, thank you so much, Jane. And so it's either you go with them to the military, some military enlistment office, or you kinda go to jail. And so this person who just woke up in the morning, who had his coffee, who had his breakfast, who kissed his wife goodbye, went to work, and then military people just grabbed him, sent him to Ukraine. Now he's forced to fight in Ukraine. Now he most likely dies, and that's it. It was even the person who didn't even want to go there in the first place. So long story short, yes, that's very complicated situation. Not every single one of them is like this. Not obviously every single one of them supports the war. Not every single one is against the war. But that's unfortunately how it is. Jose Diaz, thank you so much for $10. What's up, Puerto Rico? Thanks so much. Slava Ukraini, Heroям Slava. Thanks so much, Jose Diaz. And so yes, back to the support for the channel, if some of you are still interested in doing this. So Patreon, once again, Patreon is where I can upload this footage. Patreon is where I upload pretty much every single time. Whenever I receive the footage, I upload it to my Patreon. And now I will do the sharing if possible. Let me see. Yeah, I can share the screen. Here it is, for example, just for example. Here is the, for example, the Freedom of Russia Legion, the one which I was talking in my previous video. And as you can see, like all this footage, guns. This is the video most certainly I will not be able to use on YouTube, because it shows guns, it shows some shooting, it shows like these kind of things, as you can see. And for this reason, I upload just everything right here. So you just go on this post, you scroll to the footage, drones, people, some explosions, some other materials, and in the very end of each post, it's gonna be the attachments with the archive, and there's gonna be even more photos and videos in the archive. And so, yes, this is one of the easiest ways to support the channel, just by becoming the Patreon member. Now let me switch back to myself. So now I have another one, let me see. Thank you so much, Jane Thompson, again for £5. Thanks so much, Jane Thompson. And so yes, in return for supporting the channel, you will also get something in return, like this footage. Every single day, it's anywhere between like 30, 40, 50, sometimes even up to 100 photos and videos that you can access from my Patreon. And this is just my thank you for you supporting the channel. But okay, back to the questions. If you have any, let me see if there's any questions in the Q&A box. And then let's see if I can answer some of the questions. Today, a little bit later, we will be donating the money to Ukraine, obviously. And as always, I'll be just answering some questions. Feel free to ask them. Feel free to ask the questions in the Q&A box or tag me, put like @TheRussianDude. And so in this case, the message is highlighted for me. So let's see if I have any questions right now. Okay, so I have a question by Joe Silva. And he is asking me, Joe Silva is asking me, will Putin be replaced in power by Prigozhin? Okay, so, and then most likely no. Most likely no. Prigozhin is trying to be influential, he is trying to get power, he is trying to be a serious person, I would say. Okay, now we have... Okay, so thanks so much Bluk Iuvuge for $10. And this word that you're saying, which by the way I'm also not able to use in my videos because this is a bad word in Russian, this is swearing, but this is basically swearing. This is the F word in Russian language. And yes, we use this a lot. So will Prigozhin replace Putin in power? Most likely no. He is trying to be influential, he is trying to capture power, he's trying to seize the power, but he is pretty radical, even I would say, even for the most patriotic Russians, he's way too radical. He is like, I don't know, from mafia kind of style. So to be honest, no, I don't think he'll be replaced. And now we have Rod McIntyre for $50. Thanks so much, Rod McIntyre. I'm so sorry for butchering. Rod McIntyre. Rod McIntyre. Can I call you just Rod? I'm apologizing. So, I don't think he'll replace Putin, but there's always a chance. But what I was saying is that he is way too radical. Even to the most patriotic patriots of Russia, he's just way too radical. He's like almost like mafia style radical. So no, I don't think he will replace Putin. Even if he seizes the power with force, I just literally don't think the regular people of Russia will allow them to be in power for long. So I don't think it will happen. Okay, so Rob, now people are teaching me how to say it. McIntyre. Okay, so yeah, Rod McIntyre. Yeah, makes sense. It's so pretty easy. Rod McIntyre. Okay. I don't have my drink here to get some because my throat is getting dry, but let's keep going. Rod McIntyre. McIntyre. Nailed it, says Shano Max. Perfect, says me. Okay, thanks so much. Thanks. You see, I teach you something from time to time, you teach me something, so we are perfect community here. Okay, and now we have Alejandro Velasquez. Thanks so much for 5 Swiss francs, if I'm not mistaken. This is the currency, CHF. So thanks so much for 5 Swiss francs. Thanks so much. Get a drink, it's fine. Russian without a drink. Well, I already drank today a little bit. Beer, I guess it was a beer. At least this is what I ordered. Not sure if it was a beer, but I hope it was. Okay, I get some drink, looks like. Thanks so much. Okay. Now we're back in the game. So long story short. Russians drink a lot of tea, I guess, is asked by Christoph Waharte. How to pronounce your last name, please assist me, Christoph Waharte. I hope I'm saying it correct. Are Russians drinking a lot of tea? Absolutely, 100%. Right now, at this very moment, if I'm not mistaken, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 different, no, even 8, at least 8 different tea flavors I have right now in my arm's reach, in my hand's reach, 8 different flavored tea. So yeah, we do drink a lot of tea. And to be honest, let's see, $10 from Haig Balian, thanks so much for $10. Do I need to drink vodka, says Jose Diaz? No, I don't drink too much vodka. At least not on camera, but you never know. So, long story short, tea. We drink a lot of tea, 100%. And you know, tea supposedly has caffeine, so I guess kids kinda cannot drink tea, but Russian kids, they do drink tea, so we don't know if we allowed to drink tea as a kids, but I have been drinking a lot of tea as a kid. And here's a fun fact for you. So thank you all so much, 552 of you who are staying still until this moment. Here is a fun fact for you. Among 80,000 people or like 100,000 people who watch my videos from time to time, you 550 who stayed here will know this. So consider yourself lucky. Here is a one fact about the Russian dude. So whenever I was a kid, I was drinking anywhere between 1 to 2 cups of tea every single day, like literally morning for the breakfast and one for the dinner at least. So yeah, 1-2 cups of coffee, of tea. And this was not like caffeine-free tea. Like at that point, I didn't even know what to say caffeine-free tea. It just never existed. And so I was drinking so much tea, like since I was like, I don't know, 7, 8, 10, 9, even less than 5. I was drinking tea with sugar, obviously, and everything. And so right now, I think I have caffeine immunity. Whenever I drink coffee, tea, or like super strong coffee from Starbucks, whatever, like extreme espressos or anything like that, it does not affect me at all. Here's your quick fun fact. I am caffeine immune. I cannot drink tea, I cannot drink coffee and get this energy boost. So I'm pretty jealous of people who, because sometimes I do feel tired. It might not seem like I ever get tired on videos or during live streams, but sometimes I do get tired. And so I feel extremely jealous of those people who can just drink tea, who can just drink coffee, and that's it. They're like kinda energized or anything like this. Because for me, tea, coffee, even coffee, like literally even coffee, I just drink it as a soft drink, just as a flavored water. It does not affect me at all. Red Bull doesn't affect me at all. I see Calps 89. Red Bull doesn't affect me. Monster doesn't affect me. I literally drink Red Bull just like a soda. It does not affect me at all. So I'm caffeine immune. So that's here you go. Okay, so coffee makes me feel normal, says Rob. Way too addicted to it. So here you go. You see you feel something. Unlike me, I don't feel anything. It's like I'm not complaining, but it will be nice to feel the consequences of drinking it. Okay, so I can't drink anything bitter, says Leave the Glonk. I wish I could drink tea. Try to force myself to like. Just drink it with sugar, Liv. Just add some sugar. In the beginning, when I was a kid, I was drinking how's it called, tea with like 5 spoons of sugar. Don't tell it anyone, but that's how it used to be. Then it reduced to 4, then it was 3, then it was 2, and now since like 2015, I only had like maybe only less than 10 sweet teas. I'm talking about the teas, the one which you make at home. Of course, I can buy like Lipton, Nasty, the one which are like, no, not real tea, but like sweet teas. These ones, yeah. But the ones I'm making at home, I mean, I drank less than 10 sweet teas since 2015. Okay, let's see, we have another 5 euros. I do have samovar back in Russia. I do not have it here. So as a regular peasant, I just heat it in the teapot because I just have teapot. Because I wish I can have samovar, but maybe I will have it in the future. I am real Russian. Don't call me not Russian. I am real Russian. But in the future, yeah, I would like to have samovar, maybe to make some tea in samovar, some sushki, some jam, some смородиновое мороженое, смородиновое, как называется, I forgot. I'm forgetting Russian. Unfortunately, I need to practice. So yes. Let's see. Let's see if you have any more questions. How many tea per day is asked by MKHK? I know you asked me to call you something different, like something shorter, but sorry, I forgot how to call you shorter. So I will call you just by your full name. So how many teas per day do I drink? At least one. Still at least one, pretty much, yeah, every single day, at least one tea in the evening. A big cup, like huge cup, like I don't know, more than a liter cup, I guess. Like really big cup every single day. Doesn't affect me. I drink it at night, believe it or not. Like literally 10, 11 p.m. and I can just go to sleep later and it's not gonna affect me at all. Acceptable. Okay, so Mahe 4. What is the best thing a German should respond to pro-Putin people in Germany? Well, just ask the person who is the pro-Putin anywhere, not just supposed to be in Germany, but like anywhere. Do you think not the country, but the authorities of a country, especially Putin, who literally invaded the country, who is targeting the energy infrastructure, who is trying to leave the regular people, the civilians, the residents of Ukraine, the person who wants to freeze them in the winter, who wants to leave them without light, without electricity, without water? Is this the things that a normal person, normal leader would do to another country and then say, no, I'm not the invader. No, I don't want to capture Ukraine. Original goal of this special military operation was to save Ukrainians. So whatever he's doing right now by destroying the energy infrastructure of Ukraine, does it look like he's saving civilians? Does it look like he's saving Ukrainians? Does it look like... I think it's just nonsense. It's like there's no way to justify that whatever Putin is doing is right thing. It's just simple as that. So yes. Okay, now let's see some more questions. So yeah, like Joan Mason says, you can try asking him, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you serious? So yeah, that's what you can ask him. Okay, so Andy is asking, what is the clip in your notification box? I remember it from my childhood, but I cannot remember the name. This is from the cartoon Ну Погоди. It's about the wolf, about the rabbit. It's the Ну Погоди, very popular Slavic cartoon for kids. This is how it goes. It is what it is. Okay, so test, asked by test. How does it feel to make the Russian dude being Russian yourself? Is it psychologically hard to be against your own country and to want it to lose? Perfect question. I'm not against my country, I'm against my leaders, I'm against my government. I'm not against my country. My country for me are my friends, my relatives, my family, history, tradition, culture, language, connections, whatever. University, education, everything, childhood. This is my country. Land, forests, rivers, lakes. This is my country. Who tells that Putin, Shoigu, Prigozhin, these are not my country? These are people who happen to live in my country, who happen to seize the power, who happen to lie to us for a long time. Give me a second now. Thanks so much, Autistic Wolf, for $5. I don't think... Well, it's just the predictions, like, you know, she's just the fortune teller, so I don't think it might happen, but it'll be just a coincidence. So yes, long story short, yes. Long story short. And then I see another €5 from Budget Innovation. So thanks so much, Budget Innovation, for €5. The notification will be shortly. So yes, I'm not against my country. I'm just against the leadership who is taking those decisions. And majority, I'm telling you, majority of Russians are against these decisions they are taking. But it's just very few of us who speak against this. A lot of people are afraid to speak out. A lot of people see no meaning in this, because unfortunately that's how the mindsets of regular Russians are trained since the beginning of 2000, since the beginning when Putin took the power. Every single time there are protests, every single time there are riots or anything like this, all of them got shut down immediately with power, with force, with soldiers, with the military, and it has been happening for the last 20 years. 20 plus years at this point. And so every single time whenever something like this happens, Russians see it on TV, propaganda puts it everywhere. Look at this, these are bad protesters, look at this, these are drug addicts, look at this, they don't know what they want, they're just walking on the streets, creating instability, destroying your own neighborhoods, these are bad people, and here are our noble policemen, noble military, we stop them from doing this. And so people see it every single time there are some kind of protests, and every single time they see it, they start thinking more and more that, well, what's the point? Unfortunately, it's the wrong way of thinking about this, but unfortunately that's what's happening. And so for this reason, once again, yeah, I'm not against my country, I'm just against the leadership. My country for me is way different than just Putin or his like inner circle. There's no way he's my country or whatever. So let's say those people who think that you love your country just because of the leadership. So what happens when this leadership, let's say dies? Natural causes or unnatural causes. So does it mean that I'm supposed to stop loving my country because our leaders died? No. So whenever you're a kid, you are born with one president. Presidents switch, then there's another president. Maybe there's gonna be the third, the fourth, the fifth president, but you still live in one country. So you love your country, you don't love your leadership. You might love your leadership, you might love your president, you might love your authorities, but you still live in one country, just the people who are ruling it are different from time to time. And so that's how it goes. Thanks so much, Calps89, thanks so much for $14. And yes, Canada is incredibly nice. I love it here. Moved here for almost 3 years ago already. 3+ years already, to be honest, yeah. Loving it every single day here. It's incredible. Every single day is a blessing here. So yeah, thanks so much for $14. Okay, now let's see. Any more questions. What do you think of Vladimir Zelensky? Is asked by Jane Thompson. To begin with, he is the president of Ukraine. He's a good guy. I've been watching his interview even before he became the president. The interview is obviously in Russian. So if any of you knows Russian, you can go ahead and type on YouTube Zelensky interview with Gordon. And Gordon is one of the journalists. It's spelled like Gordon. Gordon. Zelensky Gordon interview. Maybe it's already translated, by the way, I haven't checked. And this is like 2-3 hours interview, if I'm not mistaken, before he even became the president of Ukraine. And you can just feel, you can just hear by the way he answers the questions, by the way he's speaking, that he's just a noble, good person. He's just a good guy. As simple as that. The things he's talking about, the values he's talking about, the goals in life, that like one of the biggest things he was emphasizing during this interview is that he never wants to lie, because whenever he lies, he has to face, sooner or later, if you lie, sooner or later you have to face the consequences. And so, like we say it in Russian, the truth eventually the truth will come out. Something like this. It's obviously just the rough translation, but you get the idea. And so, long story short, Zelensky says, whenever I lie, every single time I lied in the past, the truth always came out. And so right now, for the last, 10+ years, I made a goal in my life to never lie, because eventually this will come out, and then, like, if I'm to be the president, he said, imagine if I lie, and then I lie in front of the whole country, how much of a shame it will be. One of the worst experiences in his life, according to Zelensky himself, is whenever he was lying. And so just, yeah, the interview is great. I'm not gonna spoil too much of it if it is translated in English. It is a great interview, and you just have so much respect to this person after watching the interview. Okay, and now let's see, Jane Thompson with another £5. Thanks so much, Jane Thompson. You are the biggest supporter, the biggest contributor this time, so thanks so much. And then Stitchman7 says, love your channel, dude. Thanks so much, Stitchman7. I love your comment. Okay, so now let's see. And then another thing about Zelensky, by the way, there is a, how it's called, a small TV show on Netflix. It is on Netflix. And then Tom Fortner for $20. Thanks so much, Tom Fortner, for $20. Incredible. Thanks so much, Tom. So this small TV show on Netflix, Zelensky, it's the how it's called, The Servant of the People. I think it is available in America as well. It is available in Canada, and if you have access to Netflix in your country, after the live stream, go ahead and check if it is on Netflix in your country as well. It's called The Servant of the People, and this is basically Zelensky, actually Zelensky, real Zelensky, way before he became a president. In this TV show, this is like a sitcom, small comedy, 20-minute episodes, and he is thinking, what if I will become a president of Ukraine? Like, literally, believe it or not, this whole small 3-season comedy TV show, it's about Zelensky thinking and then becoming the president of Ukraine. And then several years later, he became the president of Ukraine. What a life for this person. And so yeah, it's just like a comedy, it's fun, but then he becomes like more confident in his presidency. Incredible TV show. Once again, not gonna spoil too much to you. Go ahead, check after this live stream, check if it's available in your country, in your Netflix, or maybe any other streaming services you are using, Amazon, Apple, anything you are using, Hulu. Incredible, just give it a try, you will love it. Okay, now let's see some more questions. The question from Koji: what do Russian people say about nuclear conflict? Well, we don't want it. Simple as that. I don't think there's any single person in the world who wants nuclear conflict, because one country sends nukes, another country responds with nukes, and then it's pretty obvious that as soon as one country actually uses nukes on another country, with very big probability that's going to be the end of the world. So I don't think any person wants this. Thank you so much, Richard Nevins, for $20 and for my appreciation of my analysis. So thanks so much, Richard Nevins. So, okay, now let's see some more questions. Zelensky voice doesn't match his face, says Liv the Glunk. Well, to be honest, I like this, this groaning. I have no idea how it's called in English. Like, it is like very, like, you know, like very unique. Very, I love it. It feels like I'm a fanboying Zelensky. He's a good guy, but like I might look like I'm fanboying him or whatever. If you think so, okay, that's gonna be it. But he's just a nice, respectable man. And only things that you see like, oh, he's begging for this, he's using cocaine, this is just the work of propaganda. As a person, as a man, as a husband, he's just a good guy. Simple as that. Okay. So, gruff voice, gravelly, okay, gravelly, okay, yeah, deep, growling, okay, perfect. Now I know one more word. I learned something from this live stream. Perfect. Thanks so much, guys, for teaching me one more word. Perfect. Okay, so we are doing this almost 1 hour already. So what do you think? Should we donate really quick? And you always know, Kevin B, please confirm in the chat. Every single time I'm trying to donate money, this is the worst, cringiest experience. I can never focus. So what should we do? Should I solve the Rubik's Cube while trying to donate money so it's bearable to watch? Should I do this? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you want me to see solving Rubik's Cube while donating the money, so it's at least relatively interesting for you to watch. It's like sitting in an elevator with strangers. Exactly. This is perfect. Like, I'm gonna be using it from now on, Kevin B. This is exactly how it feels, even for me. I'm just sitting and like, what do I say, kind of stuff. So, okay. So, I will try to be solving Rubik's Cube. Someone is a better donator than I am. Okay, so I'll be solving with the Rubik's Cube, donating money at the same time. Okay, yeah, and Rob Flanders Dude is asking how many Patreons I have. Okay, I can show. So I'll be solving the Rubik's Cube. Focus on the Rubik's Cube. I'm not gonna be saying much, and I'll be donating money. And as soon as I finish donating money, I will show the confirmation page, and then a little bit more questions, couple more questions, and then we're gonna go on and enjoy the rest of our Saturdays and Sundays. So Rubik's Cube, completely unsolved, completely scrambled, I guess. And now let me, as requested by Rob Flanders Dude, let me show the number of my Patreons. It's a little bit laggy, but here we go. I opened my Patreon. Which, by the way, if you still want to contribute, here is one more chance to contribute. All the links in the description. Patreon, Discord, Instagram. Also follow me on Instagram. I will try to post some stories tomorrow from Toronto. And so All the links, all useful links are in the description. Channel memberships, Patreons, Discord, Instagram, anything you want, everything can be found in my Discord. Okay, so I am refreshing the page, the computer, the laptop is a little bit laggy, and I see a little bit more. Andy Gray, thanks so much Andy Gray for £5. Okay, so the page is still updating. So I will start sharing it anyways. And here it is. As for now, I have 664 Patreons. This is just insane. 664 Patreons. So thank you every single one of you. This is just incredible number. I never imagined this can be this many. This is just insane. And it's all possible to you. Thanks to you so much. Like from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Okay, and now let's get back to solving the Rubik's Cube and to donations. And to donations. And then another $10. Thank you so much, K. Smith, for $10. You are loved as well. Thank you so much. Okay, Rubik's Cube. I will be now donating money to Ukraine and solving the Rubik's Cube. Okay, so focus here, because otherwise it's gonna be ridiculously not interesting to watch. You see, I cannot say anymore. Okay, so first I did first cross to do the Rubik's Cube. Okay, while the page is loading, I will do a couple more twists. Okay, couple more twists. Okay, page loaded. Now another page opening and doing a couple more twists in the meantime. Okay, this color is orange, this color is green. This was another, and I heard something else. Jacques Ziegler, thank you so much for $5. Jacques Ziegler, thank you so much. Okay, now logging in. Now logging in, email address. But while the page is loading, I will do a couple more flips. So I go here, and then here. One side done. One side done. Now let's continue. Now I am putting my email address, and my email address is very simple, which I just did. And now I'm putting this, which it's very complicated to type because I don't see what I'm typing. And now you see, just like Kevin said, it's just like standing, with the strangers in the elevator. Okay, so the password did not work. So let's see if I have another password then. Okay, so yep, it does look. And in the meantime, while I'm waiting for the confirmation on my phone, I will do some more switches. So I go here, and the passcode arrived. And so I will type it right now, unlocking it with my face. I found it easier to comment everything I'm doing whenever I'm doing the donations, because otherwise it's just going to be the silence. Oof, okay, I am logging into the system, and while I'm logging, I will do a couple more flips of the Rubik's Cube. Okay, the page loaded, so a couple more twists right here, and the Rubik's Cube is relatively solved. Just a couple more. Okay. Relatively kind of stuff. Okay, so now we will do the transaction, and now let's see if there are any more questions. With your donations, maybe some power generators can be bought. Hopefully, yes. I'm giving the money to my family for now, so I hope you still don't mind giving this money to my family, because it's directly impacting them, because they were able to fix some windows. They were able to... Let's see. Okay, thanks so much, Justice Doe, for 5 years. So Russian future after the war, unfortunately, will be very complicated. And thanks so much, Andy Gray, for £5. I will answer a question in a minute. Just let me focus on a question by Justice Doe first. So Russian future after the war, unfortunately, will not be the greatest, obviously. Just think about all the previous wars. But to be honest, if we do have a change of leadership, and if our country is forced not to have military, this is pretty much what happened with Germany and Japan. They were prohibited from having military, or at least having big spendings on the military. Because of this, these countries, Japan and Germany, were forced to reinvest back into the economy, because they were still collecting relatively the same amount of money, but instead of spending quarter of the budget on the military, they were spending it back into social programs, infrastructure, and things like this. And now take a look at Japan and Germany. Pretty much one of the two leading countries of the world. So this is going to be the best case scenario for Russia in the distant future. Unfortunately, it's not gonna happen like in 2-3 years. So, but that's gonna be the best case scenario in the distant future. And are you planning to go back? Obviously, I want to go back. I'm planning to go back. It's dangerous to go back right now. Unfortunately, this is what it is. But sooner or later, I 100% want to go back. And if you're still following my work, if you're still following my YouTube or Instagram, I will be making stories from Russia, so that's going to be an epic journey, 100%. And what my relatives think about the war, yeah. Majority of my relatives are against the war. Unfortunately, I do have some which kind of support it, maybe not like passionately supporting it, but it's like, they're like, oh yeah, Ukrainians are Nazis. It's like just ridiculous, but we're just gonna ignore the fact and deal with them later. But it is what it is. So what's the best chocolate was asked by Andy Gray, Alyonka. Alyonka with this small little girl with her handkerchief, with her like cover of her head. Alyonka, just Google Alyonka, it's called A-L-E-N-K-I. Alyonka. And this is chocolate that you always eat when you're in Russia. Perfect milk chocolate, very delicious, very nice. Okay, back to donations and back to... back to donations and back to solving the Rubik's Cube while the page is loading. Let's do some couple more twists. I do a couple more twists while the page is loading. It's almost there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 2 sides pretty much solved. So just one more side left. So let's see what is the condition, current condition of the donation. Okay, so I put repeat transfer, and while the page is loading, I can do a couple more moves, which is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have, what do we have right now? We have like here, oh, perfect. We are almost done with this, and we're almost done with the donation. So, you sent exactly this, you sent exactly that, confirm and continue. Okay, while the page is loading, let's do a couple more flips, couple more moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and we're almost done in both sides. Okay. Select the reason for the transfer. Okay, and then I see Cliff Mitchell. Thanks so much for 20 Australian dollars. Hirom Slava. Thanks so much. Almost done with this one, almost done with the donation, so I think it matches perfectly in terms of timing. So let's see. Continue to payment. Now connect this and this and this and that. Okay, almost done. Continue. Okay, let's do a couple more twists here in the meantime. 1, 2, 3, and then okay, this and this and that. Press continue, and then we have here, and that's it. So this one is done, and the transfer is done as well. And right now I will show you the confirmation page. The Rubik's Cube is solved. Perfect timing. Get ready for some more questions, and then we're gonna have an incredible end of this live stream. Okay, so now let's see confirmation page. I will show the screen, show the receipt. Let me see some questions. Okay, Rubik's Cube is solved. What's the average monthly wage in Ukraine? Is asked by Rob Flanders Dude. I would say it's not much. It's like, I don't know, like $300 maximum, $300-400 per month. Like, yeah, $500 per month. And this is what we're taking, like maybe like closer to the capital, like Kiev and stuff like this. If you go somewhere like far to the villages, to the settlements, like in the middle of Ukraine, somewhere like maybe, yeah, like less than $200 per month. So unfortunately, it's not that much. And with these contributions we're able to do as a community, thousands of dollars we're sending, This is just insane. So far, with this current donation, since the beginning of the Russian Dude project, we together as a community donated, guess how much in the comments. Just type right now in the comments, in the chat, how much you think we as a community donated since the beginning of this war to Ukraine. Just type your answer in the comments. I will see if I can find the confirmation page. I will share it with you, and then I will tell you the answer. Okay, so confirmation page is coming. It's the PDF document. It's opening right now. Okay, yep. Send to this, send to that. Let's see if I can hide somehow the how it's called, that personal data. So I think this is one I can show. Yep, I guess I can show this page. It doesn't have any personal details. You already know my first last name, so I can show this. No problem. Okay, let's share this screen. And that's it. $1,000 today we donated to Ukraine, another $1,000. Here we go, fair and square, full transparency, full clarity, not hiding, not taking this money. Just like I was saying, every single month we're doing charitable live streams, donating $1,000 each month. And that's basically what happened this month, just for the accountability purposes, because there are some people who do ask, hey, do you donate money? I think you take all the money to yourself. But remember the beginning of the live stream, and let me put myself back on the screen. So remember back beginning of the live stream, I said I do not feel attachment to this money at all. As soon as you donate your very first $1, $2, $3, as soon as you donate your first money, it's getting easier and easier to donate later in the future. So $1,000 will feel like incredible, mind-blowing amount to me in the past. Now I don't feel any attachment at all. Okay, and now let's see some assumptions how much money we donated. So people saying 15,000, 11,000, and then I have a question by Andy Gray, which is £5 question. Do you know any lovely Russian women looking for a Scotsman? Unfortunately, not at this very moment, but send me a message on Instagram. I will send you some profiles. You can find the link to my Instagram in the description. Okay, so and then $100,000. Well, I wish I can donate $100,000. $100 billion. I wish I can donate $100 billion, but 10,000, 10,000, 800, 60,000, 20,000, 10,000, 47,000, 100,000, 27 trillion. Brad B. I wish I can donate $1 trillion, but 80, 90,000, 12,000, 150,000. Wow. Now I feel bad saying how much I actually donated, because you have so big expectations from me, but well, it is not 40, it is not 50, it is not 100. And what's up, Nikolai Beltov? No, don't worry, you're never late, you're just in time, we just did the donations. I'm just right now answering some more questions. You're perfectly in time. You skipped the cringe part of me, like being in an elevator with strangers, like Kevin B said. You're in perfect time. So long story short, unfortunately, yeah, you think maybe now I feel bad because I did not donate yet $100,000. As for now, with this 1,000 we donated today, the total donation to Ukraine since the beginning of this war, if I'm not mistaken, is $11,200, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, a little bit more than 11,000 we as a community were able to donate since February, and this is just insane. Think about, once again, me in the beginning, or you yourself, and you're standing in the line in Walmart or in your local supermarket. 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago, when the cashier in Walmart is asking me, hey, do you want to donate $2 to a charity? I would say like 50-50, like sometimes I say yes, sometimes I say no. Tell to me 1 year later, I will be donating $11,000 with the help of you guys, with this community. I will just not believe it. $11,000. This is... And it's all just literally thanks to you. There's just like no way this would be possible without you guys. Thanks so much, Bogit, for £10. I will. Right now, I have to continue this work, and I will continue this work because this means a lot to... This is just such wonderful thing we created there together. Literally just all thanks to you. Like, I was making videos before war, and I had like 5-10 views per videos, like it was nothing. I was still making those videos. I just love making YouTube videos, editing them, uploading, all this kind of stuff. But there was no community, there was no you guys, there was no one watching these videos. So pretty much I did not achieve anything at this point. For 2 years I was making videos with 5 to 10 views per video. And so that's what I'm saying. Whenever these things that we do together, donate 5-digit numbers to Ukraine, when I say that this is thanks to you, this is thanks to you. Because all this is possible because you're watching my videos, sharing them with your friends, I don't know, like donating mine like you're doing right now, becoming my Patreon. All this is just thanks to you. Like, it is just insane. So, let's see some more questions. Let's see some more questions. Let's see some more questions. Okay, so, let's see a couple more questions. We've already been doing this 1 hour 15 minutes. And after this, we're gonna end the live stream, gonna say bye to each other, gonna enjoy the rest of our Saturdays, enjoy the rest of the Sunday. Almost forgot! Almost forgot! Almost forgot! I have the announcement for today. Almost forgot! Almost forgot! Almost forgot! Those of you, you remember? You remember in the middle of the live stream I was saying 550 of you who are still staying here. Here is your quick fact about me, the Russian dude. Caffeine doesn't work for me, I'm immune to caffeine. And right now we have 495 people. Yep, so thanks so much Ken for reminding. Right now we have 490 people, so those of you will hear this incredible announcement. Those 60 people who left, they will not hear it, but you will. You are not late, Pomonabil 220. You are never late with these amounts of donations. With any donations, you are never late to our live streams. You are never late to say hi in the chat. You're always on time. These live streams, everyone joining them at any time, you're always on time. Believe me so. Thanks so much for $100. Heroem Slava, freedom to Russia. Thanks so much. And then Freddy Buckler, thanks so much for 50 Swiss francs, if I'm not mistaken, the currency. Thanks so much, Freddy, as well. Announcement time, announcement time, announcement time. 520, so 20 of you returned. I guess you wrote your friends, hey, come faster. The Russian dude is gonna make the announcement. Come back. Let everyone know. So, okay, here's the announcement time. Best case scenario, since Monday, I will have a video editor. If you are a part of Discord community, you already know that I did the announcement, I guess. Let's call it the announcement that I am looking for the video editor. And since the beginning of this week, for the whole week, I've been receiving some submissions, I've been selecting some candidates, and so far I have not made my final decision yet, but I have one guy who presented incredible video. This guy who submitted one video. So how I did it? I recorded another episode, which is I did not upload this episode anywhere. I gave this episode to these guys, to the potential video editors, and I gave them the task to edit as close to the Russian to my style as possible, and the one which edit I like the most will get the job as a video editor. And one guy submitted, you will not believe, incredible video. He submitted absolutely mind-blowing video. This is the level of editing which is he's so creative, so nice, so cool, completely different experience of watching the videos. I try to make videos every 5 to 10 seconds there is something new happening on the screen. This is my idea behind editing the videos, but this guy, he went above and beyond. So, I will see the rest of the submissions. I have not still made my final decision, but if this guy is getting the job, most likely we will start together with him on Monday. And on Monday you will see this video. It just blew my mind away when I saw it. It was just so incredible. And if he takes the job, I really hope he can take this job. If he takes it, you will see it on Monday, so stay tuned. Monday is gonna be incredible new style The Russian Dude videos, and it's just gonna be insane. In addition to that, because I will now not be editing videos, I will have some more free time, so expect some other projects coming in the nearest future. Here we go, here is the announcement. And yes, I do pay him. Test is asking, yes, of course, we are not the work labor camp here, we are not the gulag here. I do pay my editor. I will be paying my editor, so don't worry. So yes. Okay, so let's see in the description. Yes, so yeah, couple more questions. If you still want to donate, contribute to the channel, support the channel, there are all the links in the description, PayPal, Patreon, channel memberships, all these kind of things. Every single link, if you're interested in supporting the channel, all of them will be down below in the description. And I see $10 from please enter a name. So please enter a name, thanks so much for $10. Okay, so do you think there will be another mobilization in Russia soon? Is asked by Christoph Waharte. Sorry for butchering once again, but do I think it will be another mobilization? Potentially. Right now, you know, whenever there is like something which is about to happen in Russia, and whenever they say, no, we are not even discussing the mobilization, and then mobilization happens within a month, or like, no, we're not even discussing giving up Kherson, and then within a month they give up Kherson. And so right now I start seeing the news that no, we're not even discussing mobilization. So for this reason, because previous partial mobilization, they were only able, what they were able to achieve is to kind of slow down Ukrainians. And also they gave up Kherson, but that's big for Ukraine, but I guess for Russia it was more important to slow down Ukrainians than to give up Kherson, but well, it works out, it works for me, it works for Ukraine. And so first mobilization, what they're able to do is to slow down the advancement of Ukrainians. Second mobilization, they might try to advance, especially in the east, most likely in the east. I don't think they will be able to recapture Kherson at this point. So most likely, yeah, if there's gonna be mobilization, it is still not 100% certain, but if it's gonna happen, maybe it's gonna be to reinforce Russian positions in the east, so they can finally capture Bakhmut. It's like they're fighting for these cities so much, they want it so much, I don't know why, but they just want it, and that's maybe gonna be what they're gonna be doing, so we'll see. Okay, and now let's see one more question, and then we say byes. If you want, I can solve last time the Rubik's Cube, and after this we're gonna just enjoy the rest of our weekends. Okay, let me see the perfect question to end this thing, and every single question is perfect, it just, I'm trying to find the most interesting one, so it's interesting for you to watch, but sorry if I missed your questions. I just literally I'm sorry for not answering every single question, because if I do answer every single question, the live streams will be like several hours long. I know maybe some of you want 10-hour live streams, but it's Saturday and we have to rest, I would say, yeah? Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see the question. Let's see some more questions. Okay, while I'm gonna be looking for questions, I will deassemble the Rubik's Cube. So once again, there's something for you to watch on the screen. And then I will select the question, and then I'm gonna answer the question, and while answering the question, I might solve the Rubik's Cube. Okay. Awesome content. Keep up the great work, says Kevin. Thanks so much, Kevin Materi. Thanks so much, I will try my best. Okay, use a hammer, he said Brad B. Okay. Okay, last question. Lots of them are repeats anyways, or just dump. There are no dump questions, there are no stupid questions. Okay, give me a good one to end the question. Give me a good one. Who would be the most probable replacement for Putin? Is asked by Zminsky. Okay, so the question by Zminsky, who will be the most probable replacement for Putin? At this point, there is not many good replacements for Putin, I would say, because how it works in Russia. The power in Russia for Putin especially is something that he values probably the most in his life. And if there is any opposition to Putin in Russia, they will try to silence them as much as possible. So it's like regular people, they do not even hear about them. For this reason, it's so hard to learn about pretty much who can be the good potential replacement for Putin, because we just don't hear about them. As soon as somebody starts doing something opposite to Putin, straight to jail. Like you maybe hear about these journalists, like reporters, interviewers, like 20 years of jail, 30 years of jail, 15 years of jail. So as soon as these people start to get some kind of influence, that's it, the Russian government immediately shuts them down. The ones who are influential right now in power in Russia, they are not good replacement for Putin. They're gonna be either as bad as that, they're gonna be the same or even worse. Like for example, Prigozhin gonna be like just way too radical, to be honest. So for this reason, unfortunately, it's hard to tell, but whoever it's gonna be, I hope he's gonna be much better. He's gonna be oriented towards Europe, he's gonna be working towards integrating Russia into the world, restoring the reputation of Russia, because it is a good country. It just needs a better leadership. Okay, and so, yes, that's it. In the meantime, while I'm solving the Rubik's Cube, it's gonna be less than a minute. It's gonna be less than a minute for me to solve the Rubik's Cube. Let's start saying buys. Let's say saying buys. And of course, whenever I'm going to be solving the Rubik's Cube, I'm going to be not putting my entire attention to what I say. So you will experience once again how's it to be standing in the elevator full of strangers. And that's exactly how it feels whenever I am saying complete nonsense out of my head. But it is going good so far. I already solved one side. And so just, yeah. I hope you are having and will continue to have an amazing weekend. I hope you are enjoying your Saturday. I hope you will have... Okay, just give me a second. What? Okay, apparently you cannot see. Apparently you cannot see it. Okay, so I will do it right like this. So I have some feedback that you cannot see the Rubik's Cube, but okay. So, long story short, yes, thanks so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekends. We still have a little bit of Saturday left and then the rest the entire Sunday. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which plans you have. Follow me on Instagram once again, because I will try to post some stories tomorrow on my Instagram. If you wish to support the channel, there will be some links in the description, such as PayPal, Patreon, channel memberships, or just regular donations through the chat. Every single donation is obviously greatly appreciated. Some of them they go towards donating to Ukraine. And that's pretty much it. The Rubik's Cube is solved, the donations are done, the questions are answered. And thanks so much for joining, everyone. Thanks so much, Kevin B and Steven, for moderating the chat. Thanks so much. Love you all. See you next time, and see you on Monday. See you on Monday, because on Monday I will have a brand new video editor for my video, and the video is gonna be incredibly good. The video is gonna be epic. Monday is the day for the new Russian dude. Bye, пока, товарищи. Have a good weekend.